Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you are listening to us from all over the world. You are tuned in and locked on to Red Radio. My name is Shody, the Turn Up King, and the show is called the Barbershop Chronicles. I'm not here alone in the studio. I got three of my other buddies in the building. I like to call us the four horsemen, and in case you're wondering what the Barbershop Chronicles is all about, it is that show where we talk about anything and everything, issues that people, young people around the world, in Lagos, Nigeria, Africa, the world at large, want to know about or want to shed more light up on, basically, right? So in the studio, I've got Femi Soro in the building, music executive number one. How far that? What's going on? How you feeling? How you feeling today?
Feel good.
Yeah. What are you expecting about the show?
Vibes, man. I'm just here to have fun.
Okay.
And speak my
your truth, innit? Okay. No holds barred. I also got Alaji Poppin, Toby Mohammed in the building. Hey.
Hi guys.
How far am I, G? What's going on?
Mugwalamaji breakfast.
Of course, Mugwalamaji breakfast at the end of the day. I also got radio producer, super talented brother, and also artist. Sense the problem, kid.
What up?
How fun? What's going on?
Really vibes. I'm just chilling, man.
That red cup is looking nice. So.
Like, I don't understand. What do you mean? Nah, man. I'm just chilling. I'm just here to have fun and chill with my guys, really. So this is like normal hang for me, really.
Okay.
Just hang with my guys.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, guys, just basically think of it that we are in the studio now, but imagine us being in a barbershop and we're just talking about anything and everything.
I don't say barbers here, though.
Yeah, no, but that's what I said. Just imagine it, right? Because the idea is for us to yarn like we're in a barbershop.
I think I need a help.
Yeah, so no holds barred, okay? But don't go and say the one that feminists will come after you. Just say it.
Hey, man.
Anyways.
Speak your truth still.
Last.
Right, so today I want us to talk about sex education, right? So I personally feel like everybody has sex at some point in their lives, right?
Yeah.
But we don't talk about it enough.
It's a taboo, so like.
So just what you just said now. Everybody has sex at some point in their life. I'm randomly just thinking, is there anybody who goes through life like
sex? Yeah,
child?
The priest do.
Priest, yeah.
Those people in Elijah, bro.
Nah, bro, no. It's
anyways,
it's a sacrifice.
Yeah, let's not
believe.
Let's not
delve
there.
Okay, okay.
I think those people, they know what
No,
they know how they
but
get.
Okay.
Okay,
You said it though.
I know say it.
Yeah, but it's a natural. But I think I get what Shodi was trying to say. Is that like sex is natural? Like it's part of our setup as humans, like as animals. We have to. Like it's part of.
Now you be animal. Bro.
We're animals.
No, I'm not an animal.
Anyways, but it's part of this phenomenon of being a human. It's part of it. That's how you're created.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So basically, my question to you guys is this, right? Sex education. We're all adults, right? We all started having sex at a certain age, right?
Right.
And by God's grace, we are all going to have kids at some point in our lives, and some of us have kids already. And my question is this.
When did you start having sex? Good question.
Why?
No. We'll get there.
We're getting there.
One berry pé báwo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa jẹ breakfast. When did you start eating breakfast?
Hang on. So the question is this, right? At what age do you think it's appropriate for you to teach your child or your niece or your nephew about sex? And at what age do you think it's appropriate to start having sex?
Can I go?
Yes, Sess, over to you.
Yeah, so for me, I think that this is a very important question because I think this is one of the problems that as a society we have with sex and why sex is seen why sex is seen as a taboo is in this part of the world, I can say for this part of the world we don't speak to children like early enough about sex. And most of us learn about sex from porn. I learned about sex from porn.
At what age, sir?
That's a very good question. At a very young age, as a matter of fact, I'm not gonna lie, I was probably 7, 6, 7, 8.
Jesus,
when I first got exposed to porn. And that was exactly that was my first experience with what sex was. And I know how that affected me.
Joe, some things peradventure can get us arrested. So I think that
No, I'm not saying I
no,
had sex with somebody.
Shotiri, as much as we want to bear our and see, Mr. Camera and podcast recorder, Shotiri, me. Some of us are still trying to run for like gubernatorial,
Nobody's
paraventure,
arresting you, bro.
honorable.
Listen, talk, speak.
All of that shit is gone.
Because
Yeah, but
kilos
it's sex.
was-
It's
he
sex.
said- he said
I'm
you-
exposed to it. Like
Hang
sex
on,
out
he
there,
said,
you
he
can't.
said the first
you
time
can't hide
in terms of sex
exposed.
education
Yeah,
can't hide
that
exposed.
he knew what
He
sex
didn't say.
was.
He didn't say
That's
about
the truth.
having
Like,
sex.
and that's my problem. Is like we are trying to shield children and people away from sex, but the problem is sex out there. You can, if you go to a website now, and I put Pornhub for example, it's not like I go there anyways. I don't know what Pornhub is, but if you go to Pornhub, the only restriction that is there is, are you sure you are 18 years old?
Are you a robot?
Are you 18? Like, trust me, a 5-year-old, 6-year-old will say yes.
I was gonna say.
And
that.
that's all.
That
That's
doesn't
the only
make
barrier
sense.
you have at 6 years. Like, so
Yeah.
it's there. Like, we can't pretend that sex is not there. Sex is there. Like, it's always going to be there, and children are always going to be exposed to it. Which is why sex education is important. Having that conversation that it's natural for you to feel this way. It's natural for you to have these urges and everything, but you have to be responsible. These are the things that comes with sex. And it's a very uncomfortable conversation.
Okay, so at what age would you say is the right age in your
Then
opinion?
what do you think?
It's still you. I'm gonna ask.
I
I'm
think
gonna ask
at
everyone
an
else.
age where I'm not going to put a number to it, but I think at that point where a child is beginning to, question, notice, and see their sexuality, like understand how, like when a child starts to. I don't have a child yet, but I feel like when the child becomes curious, asking questions about, their body, or like when you. Maybe for me the most tell-all is when your son or daughter starts to have crushes and start to I like this boy.
Yeah, but they have crushes early on. Though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Very early.
Like how early?
Like
like 7, 8.
Yeah. Or even
then you need to
sometimes even not really. There's your child. I mean, I don't have a child that old, but obviously you would know. Like your child can come home at maybe 4 and be saying, no, there's one girl in my class, or there's one boy who I like Tokwe, or I like Tosin.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so they might not exactly know what they speak of, but that is the beginning of feelings for somebody else. That is not family
crush,
or whatever.
Sometimes it's just like all this cute, crush. But like I kind of what I'm trying to say is there's just a time when you just feel like, okay, I think that and again I think it also goes out to being open.
I think we're going to find allergy for
not yarning.
Okay, so Poppin, what age do you start having sex?
Okay.
Elijah is listening.
I would like to plead the Fifth Amendment.
Why are you scared, man?
On that,
Boy, you scared.
What sex? I'm not even having sex yet.
Boy, will you give shot? Look at your Irugo.
It's not by that one. It's by Irungon. Do you get what I mean? But my take on this really is that I think that sex is not something that we should actually like. I think there's a sex problem. Do you get what I mean? Generally in the world, I think that in Nigeria we get very, very hypocritical about a lot of things, and that's my problem with this situation. The way I feel like we're one of the communities that like sex the most, but we also alienate it the most. And for me, I feel like that's a problem, because then that actually like impairs the need for the education or educational part of it, right? Do you get what I mean? So I would explain this, right? So for example, if we look at like first world countries, America, England, right? The case of having baby mamas is actually very like, it's a big thing. Do you understand what I mean? Literally like
child support.
Yeah, do you understand what I mean? And it's not even like from child support angle for me. Like it's also just from like an angle of how people just like have sex. Like, do you get what I mean? Like the condom culture is not big in like everybody's on birth control in England. Like, well, I don't know England, but London, like it's a big thing. I don't know how big it is in America, but I just know that the baby mama thing is a big problem, right? But it's not alienated. Like, okay, someone got pregnant in America, okay, cool, new baby coming. Like, but here in Nigeria, at the moment, a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old has a baby, hey, it's a big problem.
Unfortunately, so never unfortunately, but just what you're saying is so bad that it's not even just when a 19 or 18-year-old has or gets pregnant, that there's a big deal. As old as a 30-year-old that is not married. No, not maybe that's not married. People start to
people have like
people start
Who
to
does it be Monta?
can you imagine?
You know, but for
It's
sex, though,
such a mess.
I feel like different cultures and different like countries and environments, they have like different outlooks to sex. You get what I'm saying? I feel like the most conservative society towards sex is maybe Japan, like Japanese community. They are very, very conservative with sex, and so the way they kind of react to sex as a subject is different. So I can understand if I don't entirely see it as a bad thing for a society to be maybe not super open to sex, because I feel like there's also the cultural like influence. Like some cultures are not just very open to sex, but that doesn't mean that people don't have sex. But it's understanding the society that you're in.
So let me ask you a question that
that
has to go with culture, and this is to everybody.
Yeah.
So do you think that back in the day, like obviously because now people are a lot more woke, quote and unquote, right?
Facts.
So back in the day, like when our parents, grandparents were growing up and everything, do you think that parents had the sex education discussion with their kids? So let's say a woman is about to get married like tomorrow, and say, oh, this is what you should do to your husband, this is how you should do it,
Facts.
blah blah blah,
That
all
happened.
of that.
Facts.
Right?
Okay, so can I say something?
I honestly don't think that happens, sis.
I think it did.
Sis,
Let me explain why.
Okay, tell
For
me
example,
why, and I'll tell you why.
I'll use the Hausa culture for example.
Yeah.
Now, the Hausa culture, they have. I don't know what it's called because I'm not Hausa, but I know that they have a right that the wives of their house, right? They prepare the wife,
yeah.
and that's what they call. There's this thing that kayamata. That's what kayamata really means. It means like preparing a woman on how to pleasure her man, whatever, like preparing a woman for sex. And so they kind of give you a sex education. They tell you how to like, carry yourself, how to take care of yourself.
Okay, so I hear you, but I don't think that I mean I've never been in a session like that, and I've never heard of anybody who's been. But I think that no matter how much preparedness, if that's correct, I think that they would give to a woman who's going to her husband's house or whatever, for what you speak of. I think that it would never be explicit enough because of culture, and I think that this topic is actually deeper than what we think it is. It's not on the surface of it is sex education, how would you think you should have sex, when, whatever. But I think that there's a deeper conversation that is even beyond this, and the deeper conversation involves culture, involves religion.
Now that's what. Thank you so much.
You get me?
Out of my mouth.
It involves
really
culture. No.
Or is it religion?
No, but see,
I don't think it's culture.
No. Let me explain what I'm saying. Is that Nigerian? What's the word? The way Nigeria is set up. What is in our DNA? What creates the Nigerian mind? Is a mixture of culture and religion. And it might be, I don't know what comes first, whether it's culture or whether it's religion. I think it's religion that creates culture. I think that all of these things create a somewhat form the ideologies that we eventually imbibe and live our lives.
For me, I think the problem is religion, man.
So I think that religion and culture is a big part to a lot of things that happen here in Nigeria. Like a lot of us grew up. First of all, this is deeper. I mean, I don't want to go there.
No, but I think that culture.
Let's just leave it.
I think that culture.
Okay, guys, hold our thoughts. We're gonna come back. Let's just go on a quick break and listen to some music, and then when we come back, we're gonna delve deeper into the crux of the matter, and also basically talk about parents, schools, and society at large, and the role that all these arms have to play in sex education for the children. All right, it's still the Barbershop Chronicles right here on Red Radio, and we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to the Barbershop Chronicles right here on Red Radio. I wish I could tell you guys what we're talking about off air, but hey, I mean, before horsemen, there's always some madness when we're together.
You can't.
Yeah, so I mean, still in the studio. My name is Shodi. I still got Femi, Alaji Poppin, and Cess, the problem kid, in the studio. I found out your Red Cup's doing good.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are, man.
All right.
Oh,
Cool.
Monty, you know they drink now. Why they ask for drink allergy? You know
All
they
right.
drink.
So
I
we're
drink
still talking
socially.
about sex education and basically what age is right to start teaching a child or a teenager about sex, and at what age do you think that you should start having sex?
Yeah.
So for me, I'll tell you this, right? On my 13th birthday, my dad gave me a Kama Sutra book as my present, and he was like, "You've hit puberty," and he knows that I've hit puberty, and if you're gonna have sex, you should at least know how to do it and how to do it the right way, right? So big ups to my pops.
Oh, damn.
But yeah,
R.I.P. to your dad.
That is a real
Your
G.
dad is
Yeah,
a
that's the
freak,
real
no.
OG.
Your daddy a freak.
So like, yo,
Even me, I can't do that to my own child.
Your dad is a
you
freak.
best do it right. And then told me about condoms and all of that, and it's
Yeah.
like, yo,
Yeah.
this is the repercussion. If you do this, this is what is gonna happen.
Let me tell you
right?
something. Can I tell you something? I think that a lot of us, if you like, I think all of us are Yoruba boys. So all of us, like, I don't know if you ever.
I'm kind of Fulani as well.
I'm
I don't-
also I'm partly Bayesian, just so you
Boy,
know.
if you don't.
Just telling the facts though.
I think a lot of us
Hijiko.
would have heard when maybe your parents or family members will say, "Oh, mal already,
Man already. Man already. Oh man, my mom.
It is wow.
My mom was saying that.
Man, I don't say,
Like my mom used to
mal already, to ba ready,
ready,
yo.
man already.
You know say, so anybody to follow you, wa feni.
My girl lost a mechanic workshop while I come
You know,
mechanic.
but my problem is this.
my days.
My problem is this. You shield
bro.
children from sex all their life, and then
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden you just expect them to have husband. Like you tell them stay away from boys or stay away from girls, and then an age comes and then you're like, where's your wife? Where's your girlfriend? I'm like, come on, man. Like
you, have you heard this joke of when like your daughter is like 14, 15, and obviously she's becoming a woman, yeah, and then you start putting beware of dog signs out of your house,
Bruh,
and then
'cause
when she's like 28, and then you're like, this girl has not brought us back. And they say, ice cold block so here.
wow. Wow! I'm not supposed to be laughing at that joke because that's why, but that's funny. But I think sex education, as much as we're just having fun about it, is actually really important, and I feel like it's the cause of a lot of problems as to how like the man and the woman, the relationship between men and women, and how for example how boys see sex. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like as a boy, and I can speak this because it's a personal experience, growing up, I saw sex as a prize. I saw sex as a mission. I have to have sex. Like if I don't have sex, I'm not a cool guy. You get, because of the movies that I saw, the agents of socialization. I was socialized to think that sex was a competition, was a prize.
So you were claiming
right?
shots.
Gigams. I did. I gave them like, oh, I did that. But the thing is, I feel like if we had that conversation with our children and we made them understand what sex really is, see the emotional part of sex, see the responsibility part of sex. Like, sex is not just a game. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and this is real. Like, for a lot of us have like really twisted ideas of what sex is. Like,
Okay.
I think that from the discussions that we've had here briefly, I think that all of us here have not really like answered the question that came from the topic.
So what's the question?
Okay,
When
so
should you
Man,
teach your kids about?
can't-
No,
you
hold on.
can't
No,
number to it, though.
That's what I'm saying.
As early as
No,
possible.
hold on. That's what I'm saying. That you've not really like dealt with that question the way it should be dealt with. And I'm going somewhere because I think that a lot of guys, or a lot of people from our generation, guys, girls, whatever, hermaphrodites, whatever it is, from our generation, did not get taught proper sex education.
okay.
Do you get me? So whatever it is that we know about sex and whatever that comes with sex, we learnt by ourselves.
Yeah.
And whatever age,
By experience.
yeah, we learn by ourselves. So whether it's by porn, whether it's by
so which
whatever it is.
Don't
we
watch
learn by
porn, though.
ourselves.
Don't watch porn. Porn is bad for
my
you.
next question, right? Because I don't know about the the generation that is growing up, but I know that in the 90s and 2000s and even 80s, like it was pretty much rampant. If you didn't learn about sex through porn or movies that were sexually like explicit, like the American Pies and co, it was probably some house help or an elderly quote unquote auntie.
Personal experience.
I was molested.
Facts.
So,
Nah, but it's real though. We don't want to say it, but it's real.
It's about like go on.
The indices,
It's
right,
real.
are
It's real.
pretty much wide, but everybody had, I would say, like 80% of guys, right, in Nigeria learned from those particular ways and not directly from their parents or from school
or from
the church or
So
whatever.
can I
social
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned school, do you think that there should be a
sex education
club or sex
100%.
education
100%.
subjects or something in school?
100%.
Or do you think that sex education should come from
if you can
parents?
teach biology and
So guys,
represent-
and I think that listen here. I think that you guys should actually look at it from this angle, right? I think that sex education actually differs on different levels, like on knowledge levels, exposure levels, right? Sex education that you're trying to actually teach in school actually is not the same kind of sex education that we're actually talking about here, and I'll tell you what that means, right? Sex education would actually in schools will actually maybe be referring to like
safe sex,
the scientific part of it.
scientific part of sex and all of that, understanding that your body parts, you get what I mean? Like, because like, see, listen, bro, I can remember the first time my sister had a period. Do you get what I mean? Biologically, I have just one sister. I have a lot of sisters, but biologically, I have just one sister. And I can remember the first time she had a period. I was scared as, language, but I was.
AF, you're scared.
Don't worry,
AF.
listen to radio. You can say whatever.
Yeah,
you want.
I was scared. I can remember she was really young. Do you get what I mean? And I can just remember that she was just like, oh, what's happening? Blah blah blah. And and when my mom came back, she understood what was happening, right? I think at that point I probably must have been like maybe 11. Or no, maybe not 11 actually. It must have been like 14 or 13. I got out of school early, so I was already out of high school at the time. But I didn't have sex in high school. Unlike a lot of my friends who did that.
Facts.
But one thing I've actually come to understand is like this topic is actually an unending cycle because it's actually perspective based, and I'll tell you what that means, right? I'm a Muslim practicing one, and the thing about Islam as well is one of the things about Nigeria or the black community is one of our core elements that actually have shaped perspective, perception, and all of that, ideologies and all of that is actually like religion, right? And if we're actually looking at it from the two fronts, right, Christianity and Islam. My mom is a Christian, and my dad is a Muslim, right? Well, my mom is a Muslim now, but she, my mom, her name is Margaret, so yeah, she was born a Christian. So I kind of have like two. I used to go to the church, I used to go for retreats, and I can understand that the two religions actually practice sex after marriage.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, in Islam, you should not have a kid before marriage. Do you get what I mean? Islamically, right? But Allah Alam, which means God knows best. We pray to God for mercy because we're all sinners, right? I feel like if we're looking at it from the religious angle, right, sex should not happen before you're married, and that's why if you check like the seriously Islamic societies, so places like Qatar, places like Kuwait, you'd see that men are married at what, 25, 20, 21, 22.
But if you check all these stats online and the people that actually watch porn most and everything, you see all these Islamic countries are like the highest. Why?
So wait, you need to understand that. You need to understand that religion and animalistic drive that comes being a human are two different things. Parallel, right? And you need to understand that that's something that you cannot in any way tie together. Do you understand what I mean? These laws were made before our great grandfathers. We will never understand.
So going on that train of thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Now, sex after marriage.
Yeah.
My question to you now is: should these men and women who are about to get married be taught about sex just before they get married?
I think that the first thing that we need to do first is actually stop alienating sex. I think that's the first step, right?
Yeah, but it is alienating.
So I think that the first thing we have to do is alienate, and I said it's in phases for me, right? And let me just define the different phases.
Sorry to
Okay.
But what you just said now, is this in the Nigerian context?
Yes, we're speaking to our immediate society. I want to believe.
That's what I wanted to
Yeah, I want to
understand.
believe we're speaking to our immediate society, right?
Yeah,
Red Radio is, I don't know, based in Nigeria. In case you are watching this from Obodoyinbo, you know,
Yeah.
you get. But anyway, I feel like it's in different phases, right? So I'll say the first phase will be like for the young gains, you know, from like the moment you start getting there.
More, yeah.
Do you get what I mean? You know,
Says
You're getting more.
are you
like,
there?
Yeah.
You're getting more
Yeah.
of like
Yeah,
taking more.
when
yeah,
you start getting noticing
yeah,
things like
getting feelings.
and all of that, right? Islamically as well, you don't even actually get sense till you become mature. Puberty, that's the word, right?
Yeah.
The moment people start getting into puberty, I think that it should be in two phases. I think there should be the soft sex education, which should be taught in schools, which is just would help girls not be scared when they see their first period. Do you get what I mean? I think women are strong. I think that what women go through.
You can't go through quarters.
One be with that. Do you get what I mean? Like we can't.
Like, I actually agree with that.
Yeah. Do you get what I mean? I
Go through 5%.
yeah,
5%,
yeah, we can't. Do you get what I mean? Like the mood swings and all of that comes with the hormonal change and all of that, right? So it's the soft sex education, which should not be about the technical know-how of sex. Do you get what I mean?
About understanding your body.
Understanding your body, understanding that okay, yes, you can have like discharges, you can have this, you can have that. Don't be scared when this happens. Like the other day when I was on Twitter, I saw like someone actually posted like a picture of a panty that actually had gone like funny due to like pH that comes with the vaginal.
But my problem is now, as men, I don't think that as much as what you're saying is important and right. Like I'm actually more focused on okay. We are talking about sex education and for women how they should they shouldn't be scared, which is very honorable. I understand it, but how about for guys?
You know something?
I
didn't want to cut
I think that's the problem.
No.
I feel like maybe my mom did that for my sister.
No.
Like,
No.
But nobody actually spoke to me as a
guys
guy.
you see,
Guys don't get that
you are
thought.
growing.
No. I would say
I was
something.
waiting for him to
I would
land.
say
Your hair is
something.
growing,
Right?
you know.
I was waiting for him to land.
I would
This
say
boy should
something,
do.
right? I don't give a flying about men.
That's
And
wrong.
wait.
That's the problem.
Wait.
That's why we have dogs. That's why we have
That's why we have like loads
let
of
me
rape
land.
cases.
rape cases.
and all of that.
That's why we have
no.
rapists.
important.
Let me land.
I like this discussion.
Let me
That's why
land.
we have rapists.
And let me land. Let me tell you
We don't
something.
teach men. We don't teach men being responsible.
Stop raising your voice.
But it's real.
Honorable Commissioner,
But it's real.
Off your mic.
Yeah.
But it's real.
Yeah.
Easy tiger. Easy
But
tiger.
I actually support you and I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Men need to be taught.
Yeah, so for me, right,
Sorry.
for
But I'm
me,
just really,
I will speak
Honorable
about
Commissioner, I'm very upset.
I'll speak about this from an angle, and you don't have to agree. It's my opinion, right? Do you get what I mean?
Facts.
I don't need you to
All
agree
opinions
either.
are valid.
Yeah, do you get what I mean? And I feel like for men, right, a man being malicious, being an animal, is not a function of what is being taught.
Okay, so Poppin, let me just stop you there, right? Because I know you're about to go very, very deep right now, but we're almost running out of time. So I'm just gonna ask each and every one of you, but I will go first. So the main question is this: at what age do you think you should teach your child or your niece or your nephew sex education, right? I would say at the age 13. And by sex education, what I mean is, okay, this is what it means to have sex. This is what sexual intercourse is about. This is what sexual intercourse, this is the product of it. Like, you can end up having a child and this and that. If you decide to do this, I'll give you an instance. So, like, Femi Kuti and Made Kuti now, right? Femi literally told Made, like, yo, I'm not telling you shouldn't smoke or you shouldn't drink, but this is what is going to happen to you, and this is what is going to affect. It's your choice at the end of the day, right? And guess what? He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, because at the end of the day, it's the person's choice. But as a parent or as a guardian, it is your job to put that person on the right path. And especially when you know, okay, this person is pretty smart. You don't want the person going online reading or watching stuff that will teach the person the wrong thing. So you might as well teach the person the right thing and explain what is wrong and what is not. In terms of the second question, which is at what age do you think is right for someone to start having sex, I would say at the age 18. And that is simply because at the age 18 you are an adult. So any choice you make at that point in time is your decision to make, and you bear the consequences if you have a child or you get a girl pregnant, you have to get married. At the age 18, you are an adult, and then you can make your choices yourself. So Femi, I point those two questions to you now.
I think that the first thing I want to ask you is,
No question. Answer the question. Answer the
really
question.
an adult at 18? Because there's the
by
argument
law,
there's the argument of 21.
No,
Well,
by
by law you are, and then I mean at the age 18, if
Are there 18
you
years
should
old?
have an
Are there
idea of what you want to do
18-year-olds
with your life.
Sorry, are there 18-year-olds making like CEO decisions? Like making like life
You
changes?
can make a life change decision at
And like
10.
making like major no bro.
If you are,
Like let's not be
I know, I get what you're
hypothetical. I'm saying are there 18-year-olds that actually
Of
make
course,
like
of course.
So I feel like what they're saying is at 18-year-old, as an 18-year-old, you have the mental capacity to make decisions. It's not. It shouldn't be about sex or whatever. Like,
anyways,
generally
I don't
life.
think my own answer to this question is
You
that
don't think it's
I don't think that you can put any age to it. That's my own opinion.
facts.
Okay.
I
I
don't
agree.
think that you can put any age to sex education or actually having sex. I think that people mature at different levels and different pace. The pace at which you mature.
I beg to differ though.
You know, that's
I think
my- that's
I
why I
think
said
there's
that
the
it's
legal.
my opinion.
So
There's the legal part, there's the religious part, which obviously if we're going to delve into, we're not going to finish here.
Yeah.
You get me? But there's everything that should guard and guide you
Yeah.
personally. You get me? Everything should be personal. Like if I decide to be religious, that is on me. I shouldn't say because I'm religious and Toby isn't that I'll judge him.
Yeah, which
because
is
I'm
that's what
religious. You
happens
get me?
every
That's
time.
what happens every time. You get me? So we project ourselves onto other
Facts.
people.
Okay.
Which doesn't make any sense. So
your answer is you
my
don't-
opinion is
it's different
I
strokes for
don't
different
think
folks.
I don't think that there should be an age to. I feel like whoever it is that is giving this sex education needs to understand who they are giving the sex education to
And their mental
and the
capabilities.
at the
Okay.
time.
Okay.
If
All
they
right.
feel like at 7 they can take it, then feel free.
Yeah, I have that
If
conversation.
they feel like this person is too young and too playful now,
I
to
think I agree.
understand
I
it,
think I'm going with Femi's.
wait
point of
till
view.
10. But that's my own opinion.
Okay.
I
Fair
think
enough.
I'm going with Femi's.
So
point of
you
view.
agree as well
Yeah, I
that it
agree with
depends.
Femi. Yeah, that's
So
what
some people it's 7,
I
some
think
people
it's
it's
just
10,
look
some
at the
people it's
situation,
13.
look at the person, look at like you feel like it's the right time to have that conversation, have the conversation. You
Okay,
get what I'm
calm.
saying?
All right.
As
Poppin,
a
what do you
person-
think?
For me, I think my final verdict on this situation would be let's delineate sex. Do you get what I mean? Like not alienating it is what will make it easier for parents to talk about it, because parents talk about it like it's an abomination till your mom starts to say to you later that shoot him off you or
bruh.
you know what I mean? Like or do you get what I mean? I'm like 7 or 8 years ago. If you
It
see the
was
woman,
like-
you slap my face. You get what I mean? All of a sudden, we just kind of had like a mental agreement that this is okay. So delineating it, right? Also understanding that sex education is in 2 phases. The superficial, peripheral one, and the technical know-how one.
Yeah.
The technical know-how one should, if when it has to happen and if it has to happen. Yeah,
Put it in.
that one.
Put it in, put it in.
Yeah, so the technical know-how one
Which
should
one
happen
even
after
mad?
legal age, after you get legal.
Yeah.
And
For me, man.
that's the technical know-how. But the basic one that just helps you understand your body should happen the moment you reach puberty.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Fair enough.
So are you sorry, quick question. Are you putting technical know-how to age?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
A lot of
Because
40-year-olds that can fuck, bro.
Yeah, facts.
I know because for me, like what I'm just saying.
That's
So
20-year-olds.
also,
There
there's
are
no
organs, bro.
also there's also no, and that 100% from experience. That one I know that one, but you see, what you also need to understand is that technical know-how is just for the message of morality and information and education.
Okay.
Now, how you apply it and use it, that one is left on you and your breakfast.
And your breakfast. And your God.
All right.
Gbogbo wa la ma jẹ breakfast.
That one don't concern
So, I
us.
mean, guys, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, sir.
But feel free to let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Hit us up at It's Red Radio. Use the hashtag the Barbershop Chronicles. Let us know what age do you think sex education should be taught to kids or to teenagers, and at what age do you think that people should start having sex? Let us know your opinion. Let us know what you think. All right. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, to be honest. All right. And we have come to the end of the show. Follow us at It's Red Radio. My name is Shodi, Femi Soro, Alaji Poppin, says,
Problem.
Fem, please, you need to end with that quote. T.O. but ready, lads, shaking.
Ready.
Oh
If you
my
are not
God.
ready,
My
not ready.
So, but ready. My ready.
Ready.